Hi guys, welcome to my TED Talk. I'm Heladi Shalangwa of DH Shalangwa Photography. Alright, so on today's episode, I would like to discuss about some of the reasons why photography is expensive. Now, this has been a question a lot of people have asked. Why is photography expensive? Why are photographers charging so high? Alright, so a lot of investments actually go down behind the scene. A lot of investments are made behind the scene. And so on the top of the list, the very top of the list, I believe a lot of people have actually had us photographers actually saying that cameras are expensive, but they really are. And this is one of the reasons why photography is expensive. The first thing a photographer will tell you is the gears. The gears are pretty expensive. If we check in our generation or our time right now, there's an influx of creators, there's an influx of growing businesses, businesses that are starting from the scratch, or even big businesses, and they're all centered around social media as a market. And for you to sell your market, you have to put your business up online. And one of the best people or set of people that will actually put your businesses in the most beautiful and most attractive way up online are photographers and videographers. So I believe the influx of a lot of creators, a lot of people coming out to solve the need of pushing out businesses online has made gears expensive. There's a high demand, and we know how this works in economics. We know how this works in the market. Where there's a high demand, prices go up. So photographers spend thousands and thousands of dollars trying to acquire this equipment, and we pay with an arm most times. It's a heavy buy. As you grow within your experience, you have to now change your gears. As you climb on the ladder of experience, climb on the ladder of your art, climb on the ladder of your growth, you change your gears. You buy better gears that will make you more efficient and more faster, and make your work have more quality and look much more better. And then there's the aspect of maintenance. When you buy these gears, because of how delicate they are, because of how fragile some of them are, you have to maintain them. And in the case where there's a fault, now because of how fragile they are, this is one of the challenges we have. When there's a fault on your gear, maybe the camera or the lens, most especially the lenses, if there's a fault, by the time it is opened, it may never function as it was before. It may never give you the same quality as before. So most times you have to sell it off and then purchase another one. Did you know that cameras actually expire?
You see?
Well, literally actually. But let me explain this. For every camera that is created, it is allocated a number of shutter counts. Let me explain. This is a shutter button. You press this to take a picture, and then there's an engine inside that receives the instruction from the shutter button, and then it takes the picture. This shutter button has been allocated, for instance, to go to have as much as 100,000 clicks. So by the time it reaches 100,000, the camera shows you a sign that it's going off. There's a grace. From my study, there are most cameras that have a grace of an extra 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 clicks. So after you reach 100,000, you now have a grace of 50,000, meaning that when it reaches that point, you have to now start thinking of changing the shutter engine or getting a new camera. These are the options. We're not just troubled by buying expensive gears, we're also troubled by maintaining them, and we're also troubled by having to think about buying new gears before these ones expire. There are hidden hours that they spend. Most times what clients are experiencing is just the 5 minutes or 30 minutes that you experience one-on-one with the photographer. But then they're okay, see, for instance, you have a shoot with a client. You may think he will just you call him, you get to the studio or get to the location, and he picks up the camera and snaps you. No, he gets your booking, and then what he begins to think about is how to make your pictures or your session different from the previous one, right? So he has a lot of he has to burn time, of course, burn time in trying to understand your person and how he can fulfill your session for you. So that is the pre of the shoot, and then you have the time he's burning to go through the shoot with you. And then there is post-processing. Post-processing for some people takes days, while some who are more experienced, it could take hours. And for those parts of the country here, you have to play the role of everybody in the company. You are playing the role of the photographer, you are playing the role of the CEO, you are playing the role of the editor, you are playing the role of the manager, you are playing the role of the marketer, you are playing the role of the brand manager, you are playing the role of the networker. You have to go for meetings, you have to go engage with people, you have to go talk with people, you are virtually doing everything. You are playing the role of the social media handler. And I know photographers may agree with me on this. There are times where it's difficult for us to actually keep up, to be consistently posting on social media. Why? Because sometimes we are drained with work, we are drained with tiredness, and most times when you want to post, you post with a mood. So if you're not in the right frame of mind, what you're writing or what you're trying to post may not really go out well. So most times you just keep it, you just put a pause to it. One of the challenges we have is time, because most times there's no time to rest, there's no time for you to think properly, there's no time for you to be creative, there's no time for you to keep your mind at rest. And we realize that a lot of us around this side, we probably always have creative blocks, and this is one of the reasons why, because there's no time to rest, because you're playing the role of everybody, you're playing the editor, and it is time. Yeah, and then there's the side of knowledge, acquiring more knowledge, where you have to explore new ideas from different dimensions, right? The knowledge you have acquired, you recycle it for a bit of time, you regurgitate on it, if I'm allowed to use that word. Like you work on it, turn it into an experience, and then you now go look for another idea. And then there are different dimensions, there are different ideas around, and there are people who are housing these ideas, and then they come out and they come up with workshops. In our own world, we call them workshops, like classes, like tutorials, in school. And then these workshops are usually brought up so you can understand how another person sees this art, or another person executes the same art that you're doing, but you're seeing it in a different dimension. And then you get to see how others love photography from that person's point of view. So you go to learn how they are doing theirs during the workshops, and these workshops are not cheap. Yeah, and so there's also the aspect of running a business. We are creatives, we are artists, but again, we are entrepreneurs. I like that word, entrepreneurs. We are entrepreneurs, we're business people, and because we are business minded, we're not running a charity, right? We have to give back to the business, because the business has to grow. The business has to feed on something. We're talking about rent, we're talking about light bill, water bill, and every other miscellaneous transportation. Yeah, so considering all of these things, which as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I have not done justice to this topic, because I know there are other people who say it better to make others understand, and then there are things I've actually left out. I know this for sure. Yeah, so next time you want to ask for a free job, let me show you how you're going to do it. It's very easy, right? But before then, when you want to ask for a discount, right, please let it be reasonable. Make it reasonable, make it standard. Let that person respect you. Let him know that, okay, I have a chance to work with this person and respect the person and have a relationship with this client. Then when it comes to free jobs, this is how you go about it. Last year, I put out an ad as a photographer. This is what I'm offering, my photography services for anyone, especially those in business, entrepreneurs. This is what I'm offering as a service. What can you offer to match up with what I'm offering? A lot of people DM me, but I was able to work with just 2 of them, because these were the people who actually understood the value of what I was bringing to the table, and then they were able to match it up correctly. Now, when you want to ask for a free job, there is no problem, right? But don't come as a free job. Come with a proposal like this. Okay, I don't have money to pay you, or I cannot afford exactly what you're asking for. Or is there anything that you will know what you have that you can offer, which does not involve money? So bring it to the table.